But when it came to high-end weed, you know, they were on Ventura Boulevard, i.e. the ice cream shop. But how I ended up at the ice cream shop was across the street from there. There was a weed store that was phenomenal. I was a customer there since the minute I moved to the Valley, and I loved them. The girls were hot. The girls were cute. They were sweet. They flirted with you. They fucked around with you. They gave you deals. They had a punch card. They gave you samples of shit. They would take you into the back and show you the grow room. It was just, and they would do it with anybody. If you went in there and you're like, this place was great, come on, let me show you the grow room. And you'd go back there and be like, you know, again, the kid in the fucking candy store. You'd be a fat kid locked in a Carvel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like coconut, pistachio, mint. You know, you're like fucking a kid. So, and that place was tremendous. Like, I would get there at 10 o'clock. Right when they opened, there was an Asian girl that was married and cool, and she had a kid, and we'd talk all the time about comedy, and she went to the Ice House all the time, and, you know, it was just going in there. They had juice. I used to go to a place when I first got there that the motherfucker would serve bagels. He was Jewish, you know. Come on. This motherfucker had it down. He was a Russian Jew. When everybody else was opening at 10, this motherfucker opened at 6. 6 a.m. And you know why? Because the city employees were going in there. You would see city trucks parked there, all getting their fucking bagel and their fucking joint. Oh my God, it was like that's where Miley Cyrus used to go with her brother. They caught her in the car with the bowl. Yeah, that's when Miley would sit outside and the brother would go in and get weed. There was some phenomenal little spots, but again, I didn't move on because of my loyalty issues. I moved on because they closed. Smells good. Like candy. What is that? What flavor? This is strawberry liquid IV. Fucking tremendous. I love this shit. They, you know, it wasn't my loyalty issues. It was that people would just go out of fucking business. Just like that. Like the Jewish guy, that's where I used to get the banana bread. That was the banana bread place. She had a cook in the back that made fucking banana bread. They gave out bagels with lox at 7 a.m. And I'm not talking about shitty bagels. I'm talking about this guy went somewhere in the Valley and got bagels, and he would get lox. It was a ploy, and it worked for him. He got shut down. Then there was the Armenians by my house that were fucking tremendous. They got shut down. The Russians always stayed open, but like I said, the Russians had great filters. The Russians had great edibles, like they had the tubes I used to get and the fucking punch bars and all that shit with the Russians. The stuff what I'm talking about now with the Asian girl, one day they just said we're closing for 30 days. Okay, I can live with that. We're going to renovate. Okay, I can live with that. And the next thing you know, I went in there after a month and nobody was there except for the manager. And he pulled me aside. He's like, yeah, we got a new owner and he's going 20/20 on us and shit. So they had all computer pads, and again, you walk in, hi, how are you? Welcome to fucking the Green Apple. And you're like, what am I looking at? Okay, you go over here, and you would go, listen, let me get the strongest shit. And she would go, ooh, you know, I don't know if I, you know, you're like, what are you talking about? No, they became woke. They became very woke and very like, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I want that. Okay. Do you have payment? Yeah, you have to pay her. She swipes the card in her computer thing, and then she gives you like a number, and then you sit there, and then also number 48, and you go up to the thing, and they just give you everything, you know. But it went from me going up to you going, hey, Mike, you got something good for me? And you going, fuck yeah, hold on. And you taking a basket out with tongs, with chopsticks, and taking out a bud and putting it down and having like, I just found my magnifying glass the other day, a little, which I don't care about a magnifying glass, guys, but I'm telling you that they gave it to you. Then that process got eliminated. And they already had it jarred and already in the bag. So I was there for that, you know. So that took me fucking for a loop when I went to the same store I was buying shit from a long time. And now they're fucking, what do you call that shit? They're already pre-packaging shit. They give you one of those dead fucking pre-rolls. And I couldn't take that. I didn't like that impersonal service. I wanted it to be a little smaller And to be the ones in New York City now are supposedly huge. I saw a picture of one in Jersey with people with earphones. Yeah. Like people with earphones. I don't know. I don't know if weed was fucking made to be all this, but you know, guys, we live in a new fucking world. So we reap what the fuck we sow. Another thing came to mind this week that I've been thinking about that a lot of people haven't thought about it. It's the 3rd year since the pandemic. Today is the 13th of fucking March. The world closed down on the 14th of March, and it was official on St. Paddy's Day that year. 3 fucking years, guys. Let me ask you a question. How much has your life changed in 3 years?
100%.
Do you think about it? Yeah. Think about our lives in 3 years since the pandemic closed, since the pandemic hit us. 3 fucking years. Everything changed. The LA scene is no longer, they're all in Austin, jumping up and down at the mothership. You know, I'm not there anymore. You know, there's a bunch of people that are not there, but that's not what I'm talking about. How much have you changed, honestly, since the pandemic? Your job, the people you hung out with, people that moved after the pandemic, your home. You know, if you really think of, like, I had to sit down the other day and bust a newspaper out. This is the disadvantages of getting high in the afternoon. That sometimes you smoke pot and it hits you harder than others, like in the morning. I like to smoke pot before I go to the red light sometimes, early in the morning, like at 10, to get the sweat going before jiu-jitsu. And guys, I go in there high and my mind runs away with me, right? And I was thinking about how much shit has changed in 3 fucking years in our lives. People have changed a ton. Do you still remember being like April 17th, a month into it, and not knowing what was going to happen? How much fear we had? Like, I was confused. I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. Like, we're going to be closed for another month. I started worrying about money. People around me were fucking dying. Like, people around me had no idea what to do. I didn't know what to do. Nobody knew what the fuck to say. We were just stuck in our homes, figuring it out for ourselves, getting scared by the minute by fucking ABC Eyewitness News tonight. Let me tell you something. I have never watched Eyewitness News again.
Since the beginning of the pandemic?
It was like,